Jack Harmon stepped off the transport shuttle onto the cold metal floor of Outpost Vega 7. His boots echoed through the docking bay as alien eyes followed his every move. He adjusted his uniform collar and kept his face blank. 14 years in Earth's special forces had taught him to hide weakness. The human liaison arrives at last, said a tall, blue-skinned Vexari officer. His upper mouth curled in what passed for a smile among his kind. We expected someone more impressive. Jack ignored the comment. He'd been warned about the Coalition's attitude toward humans. Newest species in the Alliance, weakest technology, smallest territory. He'd heard it all before. Commander Harmon reporting as ordered, Jack said, handing over his credentials chip. I understand the Scourge attacks have increased in this sector. The Vexari officer, Commander Trell according to his insignia, scanned the chip with obvious disinterest. Yes, though I doubt Earth's military expertise will add much to our defense strategies. Jack followed Trell through the station's main corridor. The ceiling towered 30 feet above them, built to accommodate the larger Coalition species. Humans were not only the newest members, but also among the smallest. The security briefing starts in 10 minutes, Trell said. Try to keep up. The command center buzzed with activity. Representatives from 7 alien species huddled around holographic displays showing star maps and enemy movements. Jack recognized the red clusters immediately. The Scourge are positioning for a major assault, he said, pointing to a formation near the Keldari Nebula. That's not a raiding party. That's an invasion force, a reptilian Drax general hissed with laughter. The human thinks he can read Scourge tactics better than our military analysts. I've fought them before, Jack said quietly. At the Battle of Europa. We lost 10,000 soldiers learning how they think. The room fell silent for a moment before erupting in dismissive chatter. Jack clenched his jaw and stepped back. This was going to be harder than he'd expected. As the briefing continued, Jack noticed a young woman at a monitoring station. Unlike the other humans on the base, she wore a high-necked uniform with a scarf wrapped around her throat despite the station's warm temperature. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls, but the Moldavi officer beside her kept shoving her hands away. Stupid human, the Moldavi growled. Your species can barely operate your own primitive technology. The woman, Lily Reeves according to her name badge, kept her eyes down. Sir, the sensors are picking up unusual energy signatures. I think... You don't think, the Moldavi cut her off. You follow orders. Jack started toward them when the first alarm blared. Red emergency lights flashed across the command center. Scourge vessels detected, shouted a sensor operator. 37 ships dropping out of hyperspace. Impossible, Commander Trell said. Our intelligence indicated they were still gathering forces. The station shuddered as the first impacts hit the outer shields. Crew members scrambled to battle stations. They're targeting our defense grid, Lily shouted over the chaos. Just like I was trying to warn. A massive explosion rocked the station. Jack was thrown against a console as power flickered throughout the command center. When he looked up, he saw Lily surrounded by 3 Scourge boarding troops who had somehow breached the station. Her eyes met Jack's for one desperate moment. Then she reached for her scarf. No choice now, she whispered, pulling the fabric away from her neck. Jack stared in shock. An intricate dragon tattoo covered her throat and collarbone. But it wasn't just a tattoo. The dragon was moving, its scaled skin rippling as its eyes opened and glowed with blue fire. The Scourge soldiers raised their weapons, but they were too late. The dragon marking pulsed once, and a wave of energy exploded outward, vaporizing the attackers instantly. Lily collapsed to the floor as the entire command center fell silent in shock and fear. Jack moved fast through the smoke-filled command center. Alarms blared as emergency systems tried to contain the damage. He reached Lily's unconscious body and checked her pulse. Weak, but steady. What was that? Commander Trell demanded, his blue skin now pale with shock. What is she? Medical emergency, Jack said, ignoring the question. He lifted Lily into his arms. The dragon marking on her skin had stopped glowing but still seemed to shift slightly under her skin. I need to get her to your medical bay. She stays here, a new voice said. A tall, gray-skinned alien in black coalition intelligence uniform stepped forward. That human is now classified as a strategic asset. Jack recognized the species. Krasithar. Mind readers, or close enough. He needed to be careful. She needs medical attention, Jack insisted. She's dying. Then she will die here, under observation, the Krasithar said coldly. Jack made his decision in a split second. He lunged toward the emergency exit, cradling Lily against his chest. 2 security officers moved to block him, but Jack spun and kicked one in the knee joint. The alien went down with a howl. Jack slammed his shoulder into the second guard and burst through the door. Lock down the station, he heard Trell shout behind him. The humans must not escape. Jack ran through the corridors, his military training taking over. He had memorized the station layout during his briefing. Medical bay was 2 levels down, east quadrant, but he couldn't go there now. They would look for him there first. Instead, he ducked into a maintenance tunnel. The narrow passage was barely big enough for humans, which meant the larger alien species couldn't follow. An advantage, finally. As he moved through the dimly lit tunnel, memories flooded back. The Chimera Project. He had been there 7 years ago, a security officer assigned to the Joint Human-Alien Research Team. They were trying to merge alien DNA with human subjects, create super soldiers. It had gone horribly wrong. Jack had helped shut it down. Or so he thought. He found an empty storage room and laid Lily on the floor. Her skin felt hot, feverish. The dragon marking pulsed faintly with her heartbeat. "Lily," he whispered, tapping her cheek gently. "Lily, wake up." Her eyes fluttered open. For a moment, they glowed with the same blue fire as the dragon. Then they returned to normal, deep brown and filled with fear. "What happened?" she asked, her voice hoarse. "You tell me," Jack said. "That thing on your neck just destroyed 3 Scourge soldiers and saved everyone in the command center." Lily touched her throat, fingers tracing the dragon pattern. "It's never done that before. It's never done anything before. It just appeared after the treatments." "What treatments?" Before she could answer, the storage room door slid open. The Krasithar intelligence officer stood there, flanked by armed guards. "Commander Jack Harmon," the alien said, "former security chief for the Chimera Project. How convenient that you were assigned to this station just as the last surviving test subject revealed her abilities." Jack positioned himself between Lily and the door. "This isn't what you think." "We've been monitoring Lily Reeves for years," the Krasithar said, "waiting for the dormant genetic modifications to activate. We just needed the right trigger." "You knew the Scourge would attack," Jack realized. "You wanted this to happen." A new alarm sounded throughout the station. The Krasithar's communicator beeped urgently. "Sir," a voice reported. "Second wave of Scourge ships detected, much larger than the first. They're broadcasting on all frequencies." "What are they saying?" the Krasithar demanded. The answer chilled Jack to the bone. "They're demanding we surrender the Dragon Bearer. They say she belongs to them." Behind Jack, Lily gasped in pain. He turned to see the dragon marking burning through her shirt, its eyes opening once more. The dragon marking on Lily's skin lifted off her body. It wasn't just moving anymore. It was rising, forming a 3-dimensional shape of scales and claws that hovered between her and the Krasithar. The room filled with blinding blue light. "Back away!" Jack shouted at the aliens. "Now!" The guards raised their weapons, but the Krasithar held up his hand. "Hold your fire! We need her alive!" The dragon grew larger, its form solidifying into a serpentine body with wings that stretched from wall to wall. It opened its mouth and roared. The sound wasn't physical. It vibrated directly in their minds. "You will not take this vessel," a voice boomed inside Jack's head. The dragon's jaws snapped at the aliens, forcing them back into the corridor. Jack grabbed Lily's arm. "We need to move. Can you walk?" She nodded weakly. The dragon seemed connected to her by threads of light, drawing energy from her body. Her face was pale and covered in sweat. "This way," Jack said, pulling her toward the emergency exit at the back of the storage room. The dragon followed, its body flowing around them like a shield. They ran through maintenance tunnels as the station shook from scourge attacks. Emergency lights flashed red, then failed completely, leaving them in darkness broken only by the dragon's blue glow. "What is it?" Jack asked as they paused at a junction. "What's happening to you?" "My name is Azarath," the dragon answered, its voice echoing in both their minds. "I am the last of the guardians. These creatures you call Scourge were once my servants. They betrayed their purpose." "Why me?" Lily gasped, leaning against the wall for support. "Why did you choose me?" "I did not choose. Your scientists found my essence and bound it to human flesh. But of all their subjects, only you survived the bonding." The station rocked with another explosion. Jack checked his tactical pad. The Scourge had breached the outer defenses. "We need to get to the shuttle bay," he said. "This station is falling." Jack led them through the darkened corridors, avoiding the main pathways where coalition forces would be searching. He tried his old military channel on his communicator. "This is Commander Harmon to any Earth forces. Emergency extraction needed at Outpost Vega 7. Authentication code Sierra 9 Delta." Static answered him. Then a broken voice came through. "Jack, that you? This is Captain Rivera. Your old unit got hit hard. Most of us are gone. Targeted strike 3 days ago." Jack's blood ran cold. "They knew I was coming here. They tried to cut off my support. What's left of us is hiding in the Ceres belt. What's your situation?" Before Jack could answer, they rounded a corner and found themselves facing a squad of Scourge hunters. The aliens were tall, skeletal creatures in black armor. Their helmets had no eye holes, just smooth metal with glowing red sensors. "The Dragon Bearer," one of them hissed. "At last." Azarath roared and lunged forward, but the Scourge were ready. They fired weapons that shot beams of dark energy. Where the beams hit the dragon, its light dimmed. "They have Dragon Bane weapons," Azarath growled in their minds. "Created from the essence of my fallen kin." Lily screamed as the dragon was forced back toward her. Jack pulled his sidearm and fired at the Scourge, but their armor deflected the shots. "This way!" Jack grabbed Lily and pulled her into a side passage. They sprinted down the corridor as the dragon fought a retreating battle behind them. They burst through a door into a large chamber filled with old equipment. Jack recognized it immediately. Research lab. The same layout as the original Chimera project facility. "We can hide here," he said, sealing the door behind them. Lily collapsed into a chair, her breathing labored. The dragon had shrunk back to a small form that clung to her shoulder. "Jack," she whispered, pointing to a computer terminal. "Look." He activated the screen. Project files appeared, showing images of human test subjects. Each one had been injected with different alien DNA. Each one had died, except Lily. But the last file made Jack's heart stop. His own face stared back at him from the screen. Below it, the words, "Secondary carrier, dormant markers present, connection to primary established." "Jack," Lily said, her eyes wide. "You're one of us." Jack stared at his own face on the screen. His hands shook as he scrolled through the file. Test subject, Chimera project, secondary carrier. The words blurred together. "That's impossible," he whispered. "I was security. I wasn't part of the experiments." "They lied to you," Lily said. Her skin had taken on a faint blue glow, and scales were forming along her arms. "They did it to both of us." The dragon Azarath circled around them, its form shifting between solid and light. "The markers in your blood are different from hers. You were designed as a tactical vessel. She carries power. You carry sight." Jack felt a sudden pain behind his eyes. The room seemed to shift, and suddenly he could see energy patterns flowing through the walls. He could see the Scourge soldiers moving through the station 3 levels above them. He could see their attack formations, their strategies unfolding like a living map in his mind. "They're surrounding the research lab," Jack said, the knowledge flowing into him. 3 squads. They know exactly where we are. Your abilities are awakening," Azarath said. "The danger has triggered your dormant markers." A loud bang shook the sealed door. The Scourge were trying to break through. "We need to move," Jack said, grabbing Lily's arm. There's a maintenance shaft behind that wall panel. It leads to the emergency shuttle bay. How do you know that? Lily asked. I just do. Jack pulled the panel open, revealing the narrow passage. Go. I'll be right behind you. As Lily crawled into the shaft, Jack downloaded the project files onto a portable drive. Evidence. Proof of what had been done to them. The door burst open. Scourge soldiers poured into the lab, weapons raised. Jack dove into the shaft and pulled the panel closed behind him. They crawled through the narrow space as sounds of pursuit echoed behind them. Jack's new awareness guided them through the maze of maintenance tunnels. Left here. Right there. Avoid that junction. Scourge waiting. They emerged in a small shuttle bay. A single transport ship sat on the launch pad. Can you fly it? Lily asked. I think so. Jack's mind was filling with information he'd never learned. Ship schematics, flight patterns, hyperspace calculations. As they ran toward the shuttle, a new group of aliens stepped out from behind it. But these weren't Scourge. They wore coalition uniforms with modified insignias. Humans, their leader said, a female Vexari with scars across her face. We've been waiting for you. Jack raised his weapon, but the Vexari held up her hands. We're not your enemies. We're the Chimera Truth Movement. We know what the coalition did to you. Why should we trust you? Jack demanded. Because we're the ones who arranged your assignment to this station, she replied. We needed you to find Lily before the coalition used her as a weapon. A massive explosion rocked the station. Emergency sirens wailed. The Scourge have breached the main reactor, the Vexari said. This station is dying. Come with us if you want to live. Lily stepped forward, her transformation accelerating. Scales now covered most of her arms, and her eyes glowed blue like Azarath's. They're telling the truth, Jack, she said. I can feel it. They boarded the rebels' ship as the station began to break apart around them. Through the viewport, Jack saw a massive Scourge armada surrounding the station. Hundreds of ships, more than he'd ever seen in one place. As their ship blasted away from the doomed station, the Vexari turned to them. The Scourge aren't just attacking random targets, she said. They're systematically destroying every coalition world. And they're heading for Earth next. Why? Jack asked. What do they want? They want to stop what's coming, Lily said suddenly. Her voice had changed, deeper and ancient. Azarath was speaking through her. They fear what humans will become when all the Chimera awaken. All? Jack felt cold dread. How many are there? Thousands, the Vexari said. Scattered across Earth and its colonies, and you two are the keys to finding them all. The rebel ship raced through hyperspace as Jack studied the tactical displays. His enhanced mind processed the information at impossible speeds. Earth had 3 days before the Scourge Armada arrived, maybe less. We need to warn them, he said to the Vexari commander, whose name was Nara. Earth defense forces won't stand a chance against that fleet. Warnings won't help, Nara replied. Only the awakened Chimera can fight the Scourge now. In the ship's medical bay, Lily sat on an examination table. Her transformation had stabilized. Scales covered her arms and neck, and her eyes shifted between human brown and dragon blue. Azarath's form hovered around her like a second skin. How do we find the others? Jack asked. The other Chimera subjects? You already know, Lily said, looking at him intently. That's your gift. Jack closed his eyes. Images flooded his mind. Locations, faces, names, thousands of humans who carried the dormant Chimera markers. He could see them all, scattered across Earth and its colonies. I can find them, he whispered, but we need time. The ship dropped out of hyperspace near a small moon. A hidden rebel base was carved into its surface. As they landed, Jack felt a strange pull. There were others like them here. Inside the base, 20 humans waited. Each showed signs of transformation. Some had scales, others had changed eyes or altered limbs. All carried the marks of the Chimera Project. The first ones we managed to find and rescue, Nara explained. But they're not enough. A tall man stepped forward. His skin was cracked with lines of molten light as if magma flowed beneath his surface. Commander Harmon, he said. I'm Ryan Keller, former Scourge prisoner. Keller? Jack recognized the name from the project files. You were the first test subject. And the first to escape, Keller said. I've been fighting them ever since. The Scourge leader, Jack realized. He's like us, isn't he? A failed Chimera subject. Keller nodded. His name was Adrian Cole. We were in the same test group. The alien DNA they put in him was from a Scourge elder. It took over his mind completely. And now he wants to destroy all other Chimera before they can awaken, Lily said. We have 3 days to prepare Earth's defenses, Jack said. We need to awaken as many Chimera as we can. It won't be enough. Azarath's voice came from Lily's mouth. Not unless Lily and I complete our bond. What does that mean? Jack asked. It means I must fully merge with her. She will no longer be human, but something new. Lily looked at Jack, fear and determination in her eyes. I have to do it. There's no other choice. There's always a choice, Jack said, taking her hand. The scales on her skin felt warm against his palm. Not this time, she replied softly. This is why I survived when all the others died. I was meant for this. Alarms blared throughout the base. On the monitors, a single Scourge battleship appeared in orbit around the moon. They found us, Nara shouted. Everyone to battle stations. Jack's tactical awareness kicked in. He could see the Scourge dropships launching, carrying hundreds of soldiers. They're coming for Lily, he said. Cole knows she's the key. Lily stood up, her body now glowing with blue fire. Then let's give him what he wants. She walked toward the base entrance as the first explosions rocked the outer defenses. Jack and the other Chimera followed her. What are you doing? Jack asked. Becoming what I was always meant to be, Lily said. She turned to face him, her human features almost gone now. Humans weren't chosen randomly, Jack. We were always meant to be the vessels. Vessels for what? For the gods that came before, she said as Azarath's form fully merged with her body. The ones who will save this galaxy from the darkness that's coming. As the Scourge ships landed and Adrian Cole stepped out to face them, Lily spread her arms. Wings of blue fire erupted from her back, and the dragon was reborn.